Hello everyone, Alake Emmanuel here. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you or introducing to you Pixellab, the app we're going to be using for smartphone graphics design. And this is the app right here. Yeah, so click on it, Pixellab. So I'm going to be telling us everything that is embedded in this app. So please pay attention and follow closely. So first of all, we have this panel, these three circles that has to do with Venn diagram, and that is where you can check your previous project. These are some of the previous projects I've done with this new phone. So these are works that I've done earlier or works that things I'm still working on. Here you can see you can get your PLP files from there, and then that's that. And then from here you can get done for you, or done for pre-done. Look at, as I'm pressing it, I'm changing the feel. So it's like these are just templates, design templates for Pixellab. Just like the way Canva has templates and all those other apps have templates, this also has this template, and this is where you find it. So I think that's all that is here right now. So let's go to the next one, which is the one that has A, and that's for the text. So when you are here, sorry, let me change it back to the default. Okay, so click on A, and this A, like, is a text character, right? Good. So it means that everything that has to do with text, you're going to find it here. Every single thing that has to do with text, you're going to find it here. So if I'm going to be working on a text, for example, now I click away, you find out that it's not showing anything until I add another text, right? Can you see that? So for example, I click on the background, click away from the text, I click on the background, it's going to take away everything, because I have to first of all type a text, and I'll click on that, and then I can type a text. Okay, so for example, now I want to delete this particular one. This is where I'll delete that. All right, so I'll click on this now and then I can edit it from here. So I can edit and then put, someone's Oluwa. So let me just use this wonderful name of someone I know. I just met her, as well, whatever. So meet Oluwa, and what we can do is, we have looked at edit, we have looked at delete. Next, you can copy it. Can you see? So I copy it again. So if you notice that, okay, let me delete all these ones. So for example, now this is this here now. So if you check this layers panel there, right there, you will see everything, every graphics, every element that I'm using on this place right now. All right, so if I click away from, then I click on the text and I press copy. All right, so we have 1, 2, and 3, right? So if you go to your layers panel, you're going to see it 1, 2, and 3. So this is where you check everything that you have, and also you wait for you to order it. All right, just click at the edge and bring it down. So let's go back to working with text. So let me delete this one, since we are not using it. So click on text, so I can bring to front and I can take it to the back. So it has, when I say to front, when this is your layer, and that's why I showed you layer, so that you can see that when this one is here. For example, now I copy it, and maybe let me edit this text, and I put fit. Now this fit was typed after Onyoluwa, so it's going to come right under it, right above it, because it came after it. And that is why if you look at this, it's going to, let me give it, so this is where you get color. So let me give it color black. If you notice, this one will come on top of it. Why? Because this fit is what I just typed now, and this Onyoluwa was when I typed before. So fit is going to come on top of it, and that is why it's showing here. So if I want to bring Onyoluwa forward, I can just click on Onyoluwa and then click on to front. Can you see? It's already on the front. If I want to take it to the back, I'll bring it to the back, and that's what you do. That for the position, is for you to adjust it. All right, and then for relative position is for maybe you want to give it centering position, left side position, right side position, down position, up position, and all. Those are what we use that for. So for the size, you can increase the size and reduce it here. The padding, from the left padding, right padding, you are going to need it when you come in contact with some text that, and this is for the color. You can change the color here. All right, I can use gradients. These are preset gradients that I have already, and these are other gradients that Pixellab have made available for you. And you can also decide how you want this gradient to be by clicking this plus sign here. So when I click it here, I'm able to adjust it. Use any method 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 6 methods of gradients that are given to you. So when I click on this one, this color is talking about this one here. This color on this side, this one here, is talking about this color on this side. So if I click on this and I want to change it, I can click on this sign here. Click on it, then I can adjust it, maybe give it another color, and then maybe red, then click OK. Alright, can you see that the color has changed? But this one remains the same. If I want to change, I click on that, and then maybe click on this as well. So just in case if you have the X code is this number here. Alright, this number here on top here, this #FF8101 is a number that is what we call X code. Is a code for a particular color. Every color has a code, and if you know, as I'm moving it, the code keeps changing because every of those colors you choose has a different code. So if I want to edit it, I just click on this pencil mark here and then edit it. So maybe I want to use FFFFFF, which is for white, pure white. I can use that. Okay, sorry, click FFFFFF. So I'll click on this mark sign first, so it will show me the color. Then I can click OK, and that's where we are. So, but in case I want to choose a color from something I already have, I will just click on this. But since there is no other graphics there, I cannot click on any. So I can use this eyedropper tool to pick any color. All right, so you can click OK, and that's what you have here. So I can also select which one I want to color, but this selection only works on normal color. It doesn't work on gradient. So for example, I just change this to only, and then the rest will remain as the color that I used earlier. But if I go to gradient and I click this, it's not going to do it for only the selected one. It's going to set it for everyone. So we also have texture. You can give your stuff texture. So let me just say this image. Can you see? It's going to change the texture of that image, and then you can increase the ratio, reduce it, whichever way you want. Also opacity reduce the transparency. All right, reduce the transparency. And then to rotate, of course, it rotates the text. All right, and then for mask, you see, that's what mask does. It cuts out. So for example, now you can use this to create some very, very amazing effects and all. Bezier mode is also important, but that's what you find there. Also fonts, I can change my fonts here. All right, change the fonts here. So let me just use this one. Let me cancel and disable the mask. So we have this Oluwa. Okay, so what we have next is style. So I can bolden it, all right, italicize it, underline it, and this last one is to cancel every modification I have done to the text. So that's what that does. And then for curve, I can curve the text. All right, is another effect that you can use. So cancel that. And then for the background, I can change the background color. All right, I can change the background color, and I can give it the background color left padding. I can increase the padding whichever way I want, and also increase the right padding, top padding, bottom padding. And one very funny thing is, one important thing, I can also give it a radius, give the edge of the background a radius. So we also have align text. I can align to the right, to the left, center, or to this space. This one we don't have plenty text, that's why it's not really showing. All right, so I can give it spacing. Can you see that? I can give it spacing. I can increase the line spacing, which is for the top and the bottom. I can give it stroke. Okay, let me just give it that. Let me put it at black, and I can increase the stroke strength. All right, increase the stroke strength. So let me just leave it like that. And I can give it shadow as well. Give it shadow. I can reduce the opacity of the shadow using this. I can give it outer glow, but we don't need that. So let me just put it like this. All right, and then I can give it inner shadow as well. Let me use this. Inner shadow means the text is going to have a shadow inside of it, and this is what it can look like. You see all those effects that has you know what, let me type another text. So let me change the font so that I can show you what I mean. So now go to inner shadow, click on it, click on black, and then you can easily see what this inner shadow is doing. This is how people create all those effects that you see on Pixellab. So having done that, you can go next to emboss. I'm going to use this fit for the emboss. So once I do that, can you see it gives it a 3D feel, or let me say a lighting effect. I can reduce the intensity or increase it. I can reduce the light or increase it. I can reduce the hardness or allow the reflection to be realistic. Increase the bevel to make it sharper. Give it perspective as well. These are things that you can do with your text. Okay. Then also 3D rotate. This one's for rotating upside down. So this is sideways. Alright. And then you can give it 3D shadow. Alright. Like that. And then I can cause it to have a reflection and decide how far I want it to be. So that's all for the text and all. That's all you can do with your text. So let's go to this next one that has this square. Of course, that looks like a shape. So for everything that has to do with shape or images, this is where we are coming to. So from here you can click on stickers. You can use different stickers right here. This one, okay, that one is for premium. I can use any of this, right? And then I can import a file. If I want to import a file into Pixellab, this is where you go to. Alright, so and now, but I'm not importing any file, so let me just delete this, because there are two aspects of this particular one. One is when you import the file, and one is when you have not imported the file. So we're going to deal with that very soon. So what you do is, and after we've seen import, okay, next one is you can draw. Alright, you can make drawings, make drawings whichever way you want. Okay, so I'm cancelling that, and also I can get shapes, and these are the different shapes that we have. Select any one, it's going to bring it out for you. You can reduce the opacity of your shapes. You can change the color here, give it stroke width, reduce the opacity of the stroke, and give it a nice color, just like that, and increase the blur radius of your stroke. That's just what you can do with that. Okay, so let's click away because we don't want to. I've not gotten into that. So here you can also design with your Bezier effect. Okay, like this. Just click wherever you want it to be, and then that's it. So it will, immediately you click OK, it becomes a shape. Alright, then you cannot begin to edit and do whatever you want to do here. But like I said, we are not going to that yet. So I can also input arrows. Alright, the different arrows we have. Increase the head size, reduce the opacity, change the color, increase the stroke width, do all sort of things. Just go through it and you see exactly what you can do with this. So now we have this already. So what I can do is let me import an image to show you the other side of this stuff. So from here I can reselect. That means to take another image, right? It will automatically replace the one in case you selected something wrong. This is what you use to delete it. Then you can crop it as well. This is crop it, and then you can copy it. You can also, let's say this one is at the back. This is it here. So in case I want to bring it to the front, I'm going to just press to front. So let's see, it's already on the front. This is it here. So that's how you do that. And then I can take it to the back. This to back will take it to the extreme end. Can you see it here? Initially it was here, but now it has come back down. So the next one is positioning. I can adjust it, whichever way I want. And then of course, like the text, give it relative positioning as I want to. Alright, and also relative size. I can increase the size, and if I want to just increase the width alone, I can click on this enable, because it's saying maintain ratio. So I disable the maintain ratio and increase the width, right, and increase the height, whichever way I want to. So I can also give it color to color everything completely. Can you see that? So if you made a mistake like this and you really want to come back to it, you see this arrow that looks like a U-turn, click on it. Alright, it's going to bring it back to where you want it to be. And mind you, this does not have the other one that you now I should have gone too far. No, it doesn't have a redo. It only has an undo button. Alright, so I can change the color filter. Can you see that the color of the text is changing? So for example, now let me if you click on this plus, you can import text, current date, you can import sticker, just the same thing I showed you down here. You can also import shapes, alright, from here. So you can also import from your gallery, which is also what I showed you earlier. But what I want to do now is that I just want to import a WhatsApp, just an image. Sorry, this is someone's picture. Let me look for, okay, let me just use this. Let me just use this because this has a lot of color. So click on it and go to color filters. This is how I edit all those pictures. This is how I change the saturation, this is black and white, increase the brightness, alright, then change the contrast. So that's what you use. For stroke, I can give the image stroke. Can you see that? So if you want to frame it, this is what you use. Okay, so I can also erase it. Alright, if I erase this part, I can increase it here, increase the feathering, and also increase the stick I used to hold it that way. So that can be cancelled out. Alright, so next is the eraser. Okay, we've looked at the eraser. Next, I can mask this too. Once I enable it, it's going to mask this out. Can you see? And why you're still seeing that black sign is because, don't forget, we already gave this stroke. Alright, so if you want to do something like this but you don't want this black line to show, you have to remove the stroke before. And so then we can go to erase color. This erase color, I can use it to select a particular color. Alright, then I'll click on this eyedropper tool, select the color I want to remove, then it completely removes the color. Can you see that? Completely removes the color. If I take this back, completely remove that color that I clicked on. So I can smoothen the edge, to retain only the other things that are supposed to be there. So I can also rotate with this. I can do 3D rotating. Alright, can you see? So you just play around with it. You can enable 3D shape. What this does is that it increases the depth. Can you see? It's giving it depth. I can, reduce the darkness. Alright, so I can make it oblique, give it this way, or just right at the back. and I can simulate the lightning as well, and do all sort of stuff with this. So the next one is to create an inner shadow for your shapes. So I can create this inner shadow so it will look like and there's an inner shadow for it. Can you see that? So that's what that does. That's what I can do for you. And also I can also emboss this shape. Okay, I've done enough. Let me use this one. So now it's at the back. What do I click? To front. Exactly. So emboss, click on this. It will give it, can you see what it's doing to it? It's making it look like it's 3D. So it's simulating lightning for it. Can you see that? Can you see? I'm just trying to show you what it does. Can you see? This is the bevel to increase the sharpening and all. So that's that about that. And that's how we do this, the text and the shapes in Pixellab. So the next one is this overlapping text, overlapping shapes, and that has to do with the background alone. So for example, now I click on that, I click on color, it's going to only change the background. Can you see that? Going to change the background. Click on color, going to change the background. All right, going to change the background just like that. So let's go back to this. So I can make it transparent in case I want to save a particular image without any background. Maybe I'm using it to design a logo. I can just do that without having any background behind it. So I'm going to go back, all right, and then I can change, can change the size of the canvas from here. So let's say I want to change to 1350, no, 1080, and then 1350. So can you see it's going to change the size, and when you save it, this size is going to come out. So this is an image, so you can get images from here for your backgrounds, whatever way you want to use it, whichever choice you make. But what I do is that I import my own backgrounds from shapes, right? I mean from image. So I can import background also from gallery. Can you see that? So immediately I put this, it's going to select it as the background already. You can't move it. That's why it's not showing here. Can you see that it's not here? It's not in the layers panel. So you have to make sure that you are choosing wisely. So let's go back, and then I can also select a background using camera, just like that. And then that's all about that. So let's go to the last one, which is this one. This one is to give an appearance to your background. So I can rotate the background just like that. I can give the background a vignette, choose the color, reduce how strong I want it to be, and then give it some noise. Okay, increase the noise, reduce the noise. These are some effects that people are using what they call it, Pixar Snapseed, to make it look sharp and beautiful and attractive. So you can give it stripes, maybe you want to use it for background, reduce the opacity, and increase the number of lines that are there. So for the background, I can increase the brightness, reduce it. I can increase the contrast, increase the hue. That's after I've imported the background. So all these are simply for whatever you are using for the background. All right. And also there are other additional features that Pixellab has. So for example, now if you look at this quote, if you click on it, you can get different quotes on motivation, success, friendship, happiness, inspiration, positivity, and also absurd stuffs. So for example, it says, what contemptible scoundrel has stolen the cock to my lunch? So whatever that means, I don't care. It's just absurd. So motivation, then you can choose from English and French. You can choose whichever one you want. And aside that, we also have this net tool. This one that looks like net. What that does is that it helps, is like a grid system. So that is what we call the grid system for Pixellab. So I can edit this grid by clicking on the grid settings, which is what you see here, and then add, I can add and move it. I can add this one and move it. I can add from this side and move it. I can add, and I can delete. Can you see as I'm deleting it? That's what that X means. So I click on the grid settings. I can also position a particular one the way I want. Can you see it to move? So it's still down here. I can move it using this and to move up. Alright. So I can, number of horizontal lines. Let's say I want like 6 horizontal lines, 6 vertical lines. It will just do that for me. Alright. Then if I need to adjust it, I'll do so. So once I'm done like that, I can take it away. So for example, now look at this. It's not snapping it to the grid. If I want it to snap it to the grid and stay in the grid, I'll just click on this magnet tool. So once I click like this, it will start showing. Can you see how it's snapping? It's snapping already to make it straight and aligned throughout the design. Can you see that? So it tells me when it's already at center, and all, to make me have a better and balanced design. So there's also this magnifying tool to zoom. I can zoom into the design. Alright, can you see that? I can zoom, and whenever you click on that, you will not be able to move any other thing. Alright, you will not be able to move any other thing until you click this stuff again. So you have to click it again. Right. So also I've talked about this undo button, and also let's say I'm done with my design. So I just click on this to save as project. So for example, I say this one is introduction to Pixellab. So once and that's another thing I need to tell you, Pixellab has ads, and that's if your data is on. Alright. So for example, now this one is taking a while for you to. So let me just put on the data. Sorry that you're watching ads. That's just how Pixellab is. Alright, and all these ads won't show if your data is not on. And also, must I say, Pixellab does not use data at all. So you can design whatever you want to design without data. So I can also save this as image. I can put it as PNG and put it as JPEG where there is no transparency. I can choose how to always save your files in ultra. Alright, so always save in ultra. It's going to keep the ratio, the size of your designs the way it is, but it will make it much more sharp and high resolutions, just like that. So once I'm done, I just click on save to gallery or maybe share it. All right, so for example, I want to share it. I can click on that share button and do the same thing too. So I can click here. From here I can for example, now this is what I'm clicking on. Let me remove this grid. This is what I'm clicking on. When I click here, I can do whatever I want to do. I can copy. Can you see? This is it here. I can take it to the back or take it to the front. Just several things, and I can delete it here. Can you see? You can delete it also. So when you click on this, it's also it just gives you several options. So just go through it and make sure. So for example, now you were working on a design, and also Pixellab has autosave. So imagine you are working on a design and then maybe you just quit it. When you come back to it, it's going to ask you. I'm sure many of you noticed when I opened Pixellab, it was asking me already that do you want to continue from previous design. If you mistakenly click cancel, what you can do is just come here and click recover autosave. That's it right there. And click recover autosave. Alright. So and also Pixellab, you can check for their tutorials here. Alright. If you want to remove the ads, you can check how to go about that here. And also you just check through all this. You can even contact them. You can also exit, and that will be the end of this introduction. I hope you go through this and just find your way around Pixellab so that we can start making great designs together. Okay, see you later.